We are about to find out as the drivers go underway. Let's race at Autopolis for 3 hours in Super GT. A great start already from the 14 as forward comes Nido Fukuzumi to try and challenge. It's going to be a really exciting move forward. Up into second position they go immediately. The Ineos rookie car goes into second position. A great start from Nido Fukuzumi as the GT500 field works its way through. They're still warming up tyres. That is the real racing Honda of Kudo Sekiguchi, still there in fourth position. Couple of shuffles of the deck already. Boy getting a bad start for once, down to 12.
Suda already struggling. You can tell Nirei Fukuzumi is all over his tail as the field rounds the hairpin for the first time. Savoy indeed has lost positions there, as we see now the 300 battle coming to the start. Matsuda's done very well to hang on to the lead this long, I think, but look at Nirei Fukuzumi, Katsumasa Chiyo, all over the rear of that Kondo machine now as the 300 cars come into turn one. Look at Fukuzumi to the outside. It's hard to know which screen to watch, but I'm watching the 500s. Fukuzumi had a go there, didn't quite work out.
The D-Station Aston, I think, has managed to get into second place on the right of your screen in GT300. No, it's the Kondo Nissan to get through into the lead past the Ferrari, and the D-Station Aston getting up the inside to go into second position. It's tough for Yoshiaki Katayama in the Le Mans Ferrari to hang on to it, but so far it is the Kondo Nissan that leads the way in both categories. Here comes the D-Station Aston, though, on the GT300 lead, round the outside, pops up into the lead, and Tomonobu Fuji puts the D-Station Aston into the lead in GT300 for a brief shining moment. The Kondo Nissans led both classes, and up to third in GT300 has come the KCF Lexus, so it's a brilliant race start in both categories. Oh, and off in the background, that's the ARTA Mugen. The ARTA Mugen's gone off the road there in the background, that's Matsushita.
Yeah, nightmare for Matsushita, had a poor qualifying and the race has not started any better now. Chiyo on the defensive against Kodai Sekiguchi in the number 17 real car, and the 16 there, that's Ren Sato, another driver under pressure heading into this part of the season. He's actually made up a spot from his starting position as well. He's picked off Mitsunori Takaboshi to make it up to P5.
What an exciting start on the first tour here at Autopolis in both categories. We've had an absolute blinder, but Sugiya Matsuda managing to hang on to the lead early doors. Watch for Katsumasa Chiyo putting Nido Fukuzumi under some pressure early, and it's going to be an interesting one for fourth place as well. Sugakoshi, then Sato, Takaboshi, Makino, Sekiguchi, Baggett and Toshiki Oyu in the top 10. And there is the man in 11th position for once, Sho Savoy, actually going backwards. That shows you how tough it is. He's in 11th position. Here come the GT300 cavalry. And it's Tomonobu Fuji that leads the way in the D-Station Aston. Then Yapala Lima Oliveira in the Kondo, Shinichi Takagi in the K-Tunes Lexus, Yoshiaki Katayama in the Le Mans Ferrari, and Eijiro Shimizu up the inside. So nearly contact between Fukuzumi and Chiyo as Chiyo gets through in a second position. Nicely done.
Come back later in the stint. Look at the Leon Mercedes further back, and that's a change for third position. Tsukukoshi has passed Nirei Fukuzumi, so Fukuzumi struggling now. He's got Ren Sato for company, but I just noticed in the background there that Leon Mercedes in G300 was making some good progress.
It probably doesn't help that they're right in the mix of the traffic as through past the good smart Mercedes in GT300 goes Kudo Tsukukoshi. Ren Sato really is looking racy there behind Fukuzumi. He's got pressure of his own because that is the second Nissan of Mitsunori Takaboshi, the number 3 car tucked up behind him as well. So there's a lot of good battles really starting to kick on a pace now in GT500. Fukuzumi just trying to slice the eye of the needle in the hope that he can go around the far side and get back on terms with Tsukukoshi. He's definitely threading the needle well. Look at this, the toughness of GT300. Just try and pitch the moment, and look how close the gain of Nissan gets to go level with the study BMW. Here's how Tsukukoshi managed to get through on Fukuzumi. He almost boxes in, and he kind of does the Schumacher Hakkinen move to a certain extent, using the back marker to his left side. All over the Aston. Surely now this is going to be their best chance of taking the lead, but again Tomonobu Fuji is going to hold that inside line. And up the inside, that's the lead change in GT500. Katsumasa Chiyo gets the run on the inside of Sugiya Matsuda, and we have a new leader.
Well, Matsuda did very well, I think, to hang on for 12 laps. And I think we've got a new leader in 300 as well, because Takagi, I think the road's going to come towards him here. Fuji's let him go. That move did look inevitable for some time, but I think Sugiya Matsuda did very well to hang on for 12 laps on tyres that are not going to be the ones you would choose in this particular situation. The warm-up wasn't as bad as he feared. He even said after qualifying that he didn't think the warm-up was going to be very good. Here is a replay of how Chiyo got the move done. Just left the door open. Chiyo didn't need a second invitation, did he? And that's the kind of move we haven't really seen from Chiyo this year. The 23 cars struggled a lot, but it's great to see Chiyo back firing on all cylinders.
What is the Japanese for send it? That was absolutely perfect from Katsumasa Chiyo right on the apron. 2024, that would be fascinating. Right, here is the battle. This is Yuhi Sekiguchi trying to take on Mitsunori Takaboshi. He's got good pace around the outside, no worries. Absolutely storms in. So one Nismo Nissan having a great race, the other one struggling to fend off from the Denso Supra. He comes back at him, they run side by side, they almost trade paint down the straight. And again, Takaboshi tries to get back through to P6, not gonna happen. In a straight line, trying to get alongside Domino and Fuji in the Aston, almost putting two wheels on the grass in the attempt, now having to go the long way round. There's grip there to find, and Noya Gamu is going to go right round the outside of the Aston into second position. Lovely bit of racecraft as the Leon Mercedes gets into P2, but Fuji's still there to the inside, leave enough space for two cars to go wheel to wheel, and the Aston's back in front. Watch for Kazuto Kataka. He wants to get himself in the mix. This is amazing. Nearly three wide as they come through. Kazuto Kataka going to follow in behind the Aston, but it will be the Leon Mercedes that has the inside line. The Aston now has the inside for the right-hander. Brilliant racing wheel to wheel, trying to squeeze out the Leon Mercedes, and he's held it. And here comes Kazuto Kataka around the outside, trying to take on the Leon Mercedes into third position. Brilliant racing.
Absolutely exceptional by all three drivers there, but particularly by Kazuto Kotaka to generate something out of nothing there. Gamor looked like he had the move done, but he just couldn't quite hang it around the outside of that long right-hander preceding the hairpin, and that put Kotaka in the position to capitalise. Fuji-san
now a lap down in the mix. Here we go. That's going to be a chance now from round the outside for Nobuharu. For Mitsunori Takaboshi, sorry to go wheel to wheel there with the keeper Saroma and Toshiki Oyu. Toshiki Oyu is making him work for it. As side by side shoot Savoy and Bertrand Baguette again. Savoy can't get through. So Toshiki Oyu is still dueling with Takaboshi as Baguette desperately tries to keep Shota Savoy out of the top 10. And it's working for the moment. Still they battle away. It's great racing all the way through this field. You can't take your eyes off anything in this one. Ricky Okuza now tucking in behind Giuliano Alesi again for 13th place. Round the outside, Shotsuboy has dealt with Bertrand Baguette and uses the Lexus as collateral to finish off the move. Excellently done. Meanwhile, we've got Mitsunori Takaboshi going wheel to wheel with Toshiki Oyu. Can he find a move? Round the outside, then tucks back in for the inside charge. Toshiki Oyu parking his car in exactly the right position to make sure that it's as difficult as possible for Takaboshi to finish off the move, and indeed, he has to bail out of it for now. In the similar Civic run by ARTA. Let's have a replay. Let's see how he did it. Tucks in on the inside. Magic. Tadasuke Makino. He even got held by the Kondo Nissan. So to finish the move under those circumstances, very impressive from Tadasuke Makino. Now he's got to work hard here. That's fine. Now go left. Oh, and off the road, that's the Wetmore Bando. That's Yuji Kunamoto off the road. Now, that looks like he may have had some contact from someone in the field, and he's been spat out of the queue. So Yuji Kunimoto struggling to get the car moving. This could be a safety car. If he can't get that car moved, he gets it into reverse. We're waiting for the potential for a safety car, but Kunimoto needs to move. And it is full course yellow. Okay, so it's not a safety car, it's full course yellow, but that is critical. And Yuji Kunimoto falls out of the battle.
Yeah,
gets going again though.
Yeah. So that does bear the hallmarks of, oh no, it looks like he is pulling off, is he? Yeah,
I think there's damage to the suspension. Damage to the suspension on the front, maybe. He's going to cause them a penalty, surely. Maybe there was contact.
Well, perhaps. Could be an emergency stop. Matsushita getting
it's
out.
A driver change.
Racing it in. Well, this is. But it's almost as if they realised, oh no, we can't do that. Oh dear. Did they?
That's
I wonder
exactly
if that was a misjudgment. I wonder if they called in Matsushita thinking there would be a full course yellow and just didn't realise that they'd run out of time.
Oh, no.
That's a real shame. If that is the case, that's what it looked like, because they were ready to put Nojiri in the car. Nojiri was right there with his helmet on, and they had to send him on his way. Like, oh no, guys, the pit's closed.
Well, it's quite clear on the graphic. It's quite clear if people are watching the television pictures. It says it quite clearly on the graphic. Pit lane closed.
Well,
so who didn't communicate that?
More to the point, it's in the cockpit. There's a huge flashing screen saying FCY,
yeah.
So there's no excuse for it.
That's unbelievable. From a team of the caliber of ARTA Mugen, but Makino, Sato and Oyu So it's going to be an interesting one. Oh, Fukuzumi's coming in. Fukuzumi coming straight into the pits, and we are green once again here at Autopolis. Also into the pits comes Takaboshi and Bertrand Baga in the impulse. So a lot of pit stops happening. Amazingly, the ARTA Mugen does not come in after all of that bravado earlier.
And the other ATR Mugen, Ren Sato just got ahead of Tadasuke Nakino, of course helped by the fact that that number 100 car has the strictest of the fuel flow restrictions available, so that won't help. But this is a driver change now. This is interesting. Oshima taking over for Nirei Fukuzumi. Well, Fukuzumi's going to have to get back in the car later in the race. So we also saw the number 12 and the number 3 in further back, who will change drivers. Here's the 777 of Tomonoma Fuji. It looks like Charlie Fag is ready to take over there. So a lot of action in pit lane here, very narrow pit lane. If you've got a car in the box ahead or the box behind, looks like the Gain and Nissan is also in the pits. It could be difficult.
Yeah, this is going to be fascinating to see which of the teams gets the benefit from all of this. There goes the Nissan. What about Kazuya Oshima? No, he's going to get out behind and just ahead.
Change, didn't they? That's why he's behind.
Yeah, they've got to wait for the import to get through again as well. Ringing has got ahead of the Cintium Corsa on this lap. They're going to be mincemeat for the Ferrari because, of course, they're on fresher tyres. So this is going to be fairly easy for them to work their way forward, as well as battle away. Run wide from the Satamoto Open supercar and off the road. Oh, unbelievable.
That's a disaster for them. They were in the net lead, essentially. Seita Nonaka at the wheel there, losing places. There's the Team Mac car. That was another early stopper. Looks like he's going to be pinched. Oh, 3 wide again. Oh, how they all got through that, I'm not quite sure. But Nonaka being, Nonaka, I guess, having no temperature in his tyres after that off-track moment, not what he needed at all. It looks like he is more or less back up to speed now, but that was really, really costly. And that's given the number 2 Toyota the whip hand. So, like I said, it was eliminating that extra warm-up phase. Okay, you will have to, factor in that strategy for the latter part of the race and coming in before the 2-hour mark. But like eliminating one of those warm-up phases, it might have just helped the number 3 and the number 12 Nissans get back into the game a little bit.
Both the Nissans from Nismo are going to get ahead, and I'm fairly sure the Impulse going to get ahead as well. Now down the pits, Nissan have absolutely stroked this in the pit stops. Absolutely incredible. So we've now got the Nissans in 3rd, 4th and 5th at this point. That is absolutely, no, 2nd, 3rd and 4th in fact. 2nd, 3rd and 4th they will be. So the Nissan teams have absolutely monstered this pit stop strategy. Meanwhile, side by side, that's the Tom Supra going round the outside of its championship rival. Yamashita gets past Naoki Yamamoto. Yeah,
so Yamashita taking over for the lion's share of the driving here, and look at
and the Estemo
struggling to get his tyres up to temperature, and Nakayama struggling as well. Look at Oshima in the background there, and the leading car, the ARTA Honda, is in the pits now.
Oh, the Estemo car's really struggling. There goes the Denso SARD Supra. Here comes the Kunimitsu Honda, and watch for the Enios rookie Toyota. That's going to be 4 places, I think, that they're going to lose in 1 lap. Desperately trying to hang on to it, but it's not going to happen. The Enios rookie is going to be charging straight up the inside. There goes Kazuya Oshima. No problem at all to get through, and they're still trying to take on the Kunimitsu car in front. As into the pits comes Shinichi Takagi. And there is Ren Sato finally in the lead of GT500. Where are they going to filter back out?
Yeah, well, obviously behind the Muta Ringen car, because that's already in the lead. And now the Mac 5 is also up to P2, so I think they're going to probably filter out in P3, but potentially not, because the D-Station car looks to have got the undercut there. Charlie Fag, I think, has got that Aston Martin he has up to a net P3, so good work by Charlie Fag there.
In Super GT, it's not about what you do when you win, it's about what you do when you don't. But round the outside, this is going to be tricky to get past the Lexus. There was a little bit of door banging, I think, as there went Kenzie Yamashita up the inside. Nakayama had to bail off the throttle. I think there was a little bit of paint trade. There between Yamashita and Morionita.
So it's the 36 still with the advantage over the 39. And look at this battle. This is Ukiri Sasahara now at the wheel of the 37. And Kakinoshi Shinota, now he's got those tyres up to temperature in the 17 Real Racing Honda. He's hungry for revenge as well.
Kansas. Sahara get through on the inside of Oshima. No, he can't, but now he's going to get through on the inside, surely on the exit of turn one. And watch for Kakyo Yoshinotta. Are we about to go 3 wide? 2 Toyotas and a Honda. On the inside comes Sasahara. He can't get through on Oshima, but Otta round the outside of Sasahara. Oh, what a move from Kakyo Yoshinotta. Brilliantly done. He splits the Supras, and now he's going straight after Kazuyo Oshima, who dives in on the inside of the Lexus. He's going to get held up in the move. Otta might get a faster exit off the turn and get alongside it. They are going to go wheel to wheel. Oh, they've contact! Otta's going to go into the barriers, is he? Oh my goodness, Kakyo Yoshinotta out of the race. I can't believe it.
Horrible impact for Otta. I hope he's okay there. That was really unfortunate, but just, in fact, it's almost a miracle those kind of accidents don't happen more often because they're so close.
Safety car instantly.
No surprise there, but it's a surprise we don't see more of that happening with so many cars going 2 wide, 3 wide through that part of the course.
So here it is. There's just not quite enough room left to do that, and Kakyo Yoshinotta committing around the outside. That's tough. That's tough to call.
Fault. I think that's Oshima's fault. He didn't see Otta was there. He went to take the ideal racing line, but he should have been aware that the Honda was actually occupying that part of the circuit already. I think I have to say that's Oshima's fault in my opinion.
It's a tough one, isn't it? And poor Kakyo Yoshinotta, he was really looking like that was going to be a proper good charge to the podium for the Estemo Real Honda. He had good pace initially. The tyres were up to temperature. He was on it. He was in his zone. What is it with Kakyo Yoshinotta and luck in Super GT?
Yeah,
he's got none.
He's had not much in Super Formula lately either, with that problem at the Motegi that cost him a possible win. And I wouldn't have said that the 17 were really title contenders as such, but certainly any distant hopes of fighting for the championship in the final round must be certainly over now. That's a real, watching that again, I still believe it was Oshima's fault. I would like to see Otta's on board, but I think he had enough of his car alongside that he deserved to be given a bit more room there.
Now, we know that the race promotion at Super GT can be very strict, and we know that when they look at penalties, they look at the outcome of the incident when they make their decisions. So you would almost certainly expect that Kazuya Oshima and the Ineos rookie team may well get the book for them. Look at a furious Kakyo Yoshinotta having to be guided away by the marshal.
Yeah, he's a passionate boy, is Otta. He's very, very quick, he's young, he's ambitious. He really wants to make a name for himself in this sport, and he won't take that kind of thing lying down.
Third in the championship, don't forget. There's still lots to play for. Green, 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 green once again here at Autopolis. And Katsumasa Chiyo pulls clear. No worries at all for him, as Takaboshi's got Baguette to deal with, trying to get back up to speed. Yuichi Nakayama, who of course has not quite been able to get up to speed yet in the Denso SARD Supra. What can he do compared to his teammate Yuhi Sekiguchi? And there's already a challenge from Hiroki Otsu, who takes on Ukiya Sasahara out of turn 1. And he looks like he could be pretty feisty. Here comes Otsu. Oh, we switch over to the GT300s at the worst possible moment, because I thought Otsu was going to make the bid there around the outside of Naoki Yamamoto. Around the outside of Ukiya Sasahara, I should say. To try and make the move stick as Nakayama that's trying to get through on the inside, although of course it's not Nakayama anymore, is it? It's now his teammate Takuro Shinohara. And look at Charlie Fagg in the Aston Martin. He's hustling both drivers as Kotaka tries to go round the outside of Fujinami. Can he finish that? Yes, he can. Into second, and up the inside comes Shinohara on Charlie Fagg. Oh, Fujinami's going to try and come back at Kotaka. This is 5 cars battling for second position in GT300. This is magnificent racing. Kotaka still on the far side. Fujinami going to try and take second place back. Charlie, keep your wits about you. You might get into third or even second here. Goodness me, great scrapping all the way, and Kotaka has got ahead of Fujinami. And here comes Shinohara, now diving up the inside of the Aston. The Aston goes the long way round on Fujinami, trying to get back on purchase. It's an absolute cavalry behind. That's the J-Lock Lambo of Yuya Motojima now getting in there with Morio Nita. This is magnificent stuff all the way through.
Oh, the 65 Mercedes on the grass there as he goes side by side with Charlie Fagg, who I think, no, he's got the Subaru off his inside. I think the Subaru is going to come through here potentially for what will be a P4 hit. I think the 31 Lexus now clear for second place. The Team Mac car hanging on to third somehow on those old tyres. And now it's the Subaru up to fourth. Look at Yamauchi going left to right. Now the Aston Martin's lost the position to the Lamborghini.
Behind Hideki Yamauchi, we've got Motojima, Fagg, Shinohara, Nita, Shimizu, Ishikawa. We're going to see a replay. This is Kenti Yamashita. Oh, a spin! A spin there from Oshima. So Oshima spins it around, almost strikes the barrier on the way through. Otsu spinning it in the ART Mugen, my apologies. So Hiroki Otsu, who of course took over that car from Ren Sato, just too much power too early, he just lost it on his own.
That's a rookie error from a driver who's not a rookie by any stretch of the imagination. That's really disappointing to see that such a, unless it's a throttle issue, but it does look to me like that was just a simple error there from Otsu, too keen to get on the throttle. Big disappointment for RTA. Both cars now are out of the running.
That's another bad luck tale for the ARTA Mugen boys. There is Hiroki Otsu having recovered, now in 12th position. We're running out of cars for the 23 Nissan as things currently stand, because obviously a driver change takes considerably longer than the standard pit stop. Oh, look at Nakayama around the outside! Oh, very nearly finishing that off. The Nils Nissan was in the way. The Helm Nissan, sorry, was in the way at exactly the wrong moment, but that could have been the moment for Yuichi Nakayama to pounce on Kenti Yamashita. He just had to bail out of it, and unfortunately, Naoki Yamamoto has been properly compromised and fallen a little bit further away from the queue as a result. But those are the kind of moves you're looking for. Those are the kind of moments where Nakayama needs to keep his eyes on stalks and pick up an overtaking move. What that has done now, though, is it's benefited Yamashita. He's all over the back of the Impul.
Yeah, Yamashita driving brilliantly here, I have to say.
So let's see if the Mutaringing team are in a race for the victory or if they're in a race for a few championship points. It all depends on whether that penalty that they are being investigated for does come to fruition. Yuichi Nakayama trying to come right round the outside of Kenti Yamashita. Oh, this is a big moment for the championship leaders as Yuichi Nakayama's trying to drive right round the outside of them in the Denso Supra. The back end kicks out and he commits to it. Gets the move. Beautiful from Yuichi Nakayama.
Good stuff there, and look, he's got Bertrand Baguette firmly in his sights already, but he just needed a few clear corners. Juichi Wakisaka loves the look of that driving from his charge Nakayama, but he just needed a few clear corners, didn't he? Just the G300 traffic was really helping Yamash to keep the Denso SARD car at bay, but now they're in a slightly clearer part of the circuit. Now the true speed of the Denso car, which we saw earlier on as the APR Lexus peels into the pits there, that is the car potentially in line to win this race, has come into the pits in GT300. Nice buffer. And the question is, and look at this lead battle in 300, the question is, can he hang on to it?
Well, we've got Hideki Yamauchi trying to get a lap on the LC500H Lexus before they make their own pit stops.
No, that's right.
Because, of course, that car is already pitted, hasn't it?
Yes, so if Nakamura can hang on here, that would be a big advantage, but he just can't against the Subaru, and now Motojima needs to clear the Subaru, needs to clear the Lexus as well. He's lost that, though.
He's been held up. He's been held up big time. This is great news for Subaru because they've got a lap on the LC500H Lexus before their own pit stop. Nissan, the GT300 just in front of them. This is where Yamamoto can really start to make a challenge. He's tightening up. Yamashita's going to get compromised here. This could be an opportunity for Yamamoto, and he knows it. They're just not quite able to get the move there on the Tom's Toyota. They had a really good push for it, and Chio's into the pits. Right, his stint is over, and into the pits as well comes Yamamoto. Baguette's in as well. So there's a lot of driver changes, and that's Ronnie Quintarelli getting in to take over what should be the leading Nissan Nismo on the exit of the pits.
Indeed, Yamamoto doesn't need to change though. Yamamoto will stay on board, I'm sure, for the final stint, but Baguette will hand over to Kazuki Hiramine. And finally, we have news of a drive-through penalty for car number 2. So that's the victory out of the window for a safety car in procedure infraction. That is a real shame for the number 2 Ingen car. It was a great opportunity for them to make up some ground on the Leon Racing Mercedes in the championship. But as it stands, I think the Leon car is now going to extend its lead by some margin. Look at this as the race out of the pits, and Quintarelli giving it the beats there. But Yamamoto jumping ahead of the Impul car, but he hasn't quite got out ahead of Quintarelli. Of course, we saw how much time they lost by performing the driver change there.
And with a safety car as well. Unbelievable.
It's just aligned perfectly, and for Nismo, I mean, they were in a commanding position, running 1 and 2. And it's no fault of their own. They did what they had to do on the strategy. Okay, you could say the 23 should have left it a lap longer, but we're talking the difference between, almost no difference strategically. You just can't predict that another car is going to throw it in the barrier and cause another safety car.
Well, this is now going to be a straight fight for the victory between Yuichi Nakayama and Ronnie Quintarelli. Oh my goodness, this is going to be sleeves rolled up time for Ronnie Quintarelli going after that Denso Supra on the restart. Oh, this race just gets better and better. I love the 300-kilometer format, don't get me wrong. I love the 350k format as well, because they're very, very different races. But these 3-hour races, Jamie, they just deliver every single time.
Yeah, well, I think a 300k race would have finished by now, more or less. So we wouldn't have got this far. But look on the graphic on the left. All the cars with a 2.
With the man in front of him, Yuichi Nakayama, straight away into the pits. All 4 cars in the top 5, except for Yuki Sasahara, come in, and it's green, 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 green as the race-winning battle begins between Yuichi Nakayama and Ronnie Quintarelli. Quintarelli is going straight to battle. Here we go. The Warrior comes to the fore.
He's got a good exit here out of turn. He's going to go through turn 2. He's going to have a run on Yuichi Nakayama. He's got a clean bit of road as well. Bit of Nakayama goes to defensive. Can Quintarelli make something work around the outside? No, not quite close enough. I thought he was going to have a move there.
This is going to be sooner rather than later. Ron Quintarelli, he is driving not just for the win, but for his career. And look who's closing up on them. It's Naoki Yamamoto, another legend of the sport here in Japan, as we go on board with Quintarelli once again. Trying to close up. No, sorry, it's Nakayama we were on board with there, I think. But yes, the top 3 cars in the race. Once Yuki Sasahara pits, and he'll almost certainly go in. There's the Subaru straight in the pit. Side by side, Yamamoto going at it with Quintarelli. He wants to get ahead of Quintarelli as soon as possible. He wants to make sure that the Honda can get ahead of the Nissan before they even think about the Toyota. Yamamoto again. Hustling Quintarelli, he's got a good run off the turn. Quintarelli shoves the car across his line. No, you don't. I'm going to get after Nakayama. Look at the lack of pace from Sasahara. He's just dropping like a stone. Trying to get close to Watsu for the big dive. Here are the Tom's cars, and they've changed position. Now that's critical. So Kenty Yamashita gets ahead of Yuki Sasahara. Now that's fascinating, because these are the 2 cars fighting for the championship, don't forget. There's only a point between them in the championship. So Yamashita versus Sasahara, this means business. This is war between these 2. They are championship contenders all the way.
No team orders at Tom's for sure. I mean, there's not been team orders in the past, even when they've only had 1 car in the championship, but now they've got 2 cars in the championship. There definitely won't be any. But I think Sasahara somehow got ahead. Why we saw Mary dive for the pits. Look at him.
Here we go.
As he's ever been to the back of Naoki Yamamoto. Will he try and go around the outside? That's a brave move. And it's this blind corner. It's so tricky to get the braking right here. But look at that, around the outside. Is he going to complete the move? Oh, excellent stuff from that Sushi Miyake. We can't sing that boy's praises enough lately.
Well, if there is ever going to be a debate as to who do you replace Ronnie Quintarelli with alongside Katsumasa Chiyo, and Sushi Miyake just signed a dotted line there to everybody in the team. Why don't you give me the drive? I'm ready. I was kind of saying, well, oh, that's the Subaru! Big accident! Big shot for the Subaru of Sekiguchi. That's going to bring us a safety car.
That is really scary looking. There's a lot of damage to that car. Hope
that looks like a brake failure.
The local man.
That's either a brake failure or contact, isn't it, Kavit? Because that's always what comes. Right, here we go. He's on his own. So let's see what's happened. I think that's brake failure. That's brake failure, isn't it? Oh my goodness, that is a horrifying accident for Takuto Iguchi. And I have to say, well done to the camera crew for cutting the feed at that moment, because you do not need to see the impact. You know it's going to be a big one. Suddenly, what's happened to Notori? Notori has stopped out on the circuit. How close were we to a 2-lap sprint? How close were we? That's bonkers.
So is that just Notori? Is the engine stopped there? That's really strange. Let's watch this.
Yeah, it's just conked out.
Conked out,
just conked out on him. They were going so slowly at that point.
Surely not run out of fuel. With so many safety car periods, I can't believe anybody would be running out of fuel. So maybe another problem that we don't know about.
Long, unlucky streak. 4 years of waiting, and it's going to be the victory for Yui Sekiguchi and Yuichi Nakayama. Denso SARD Supra finally win again in Super GT after 3 of the maddest hours that this championship is ever going to give you. It's such an unbelievable result for the Denso SARD Supra team. There is the Ventini Lamborghini. They will take the victory in GT300. What an unbelievable race we have been given. The championship's going down to the wire in both categories. But for Yuhi Sekiguchi and Yuichi Nakayama, the pain and the long, long wait to get back on the top step is finally over. But both have earned their stripes. Yuichi Nakayama! It's been 4 years since he last climbed the top step of the podium in Super GT. Boy, must it feel good to be back.